Today, I wanted to talk about my recent trip to Tulum, Mexico. It was so much fun, and I'm sorry I was gone for 2 weeks, but there was not a lot of service, internet service down there between the jungle and the ocean. So, anyways, I was able to take a few videos on my GoPro so I could take you guys along with me. So, if you stay till the end of the video, you'll be able to see a lot of what I got to see. And if you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and this is my new YouTube channel called Growing Up Shaman, where I tell true stories about non ordinary reality from the perspective of a shaman. So, as some of you may know, the reason I went to Tulum, Mexico was because I was going to do what's known as a Bufo Alvarius ceremony. For those of you who don't know, that's basically when you smoke the venom from a toad, and it allows you to experience deep healing. Now, this was my second time doing my Bufo Alvarius ceremony, and it was very, very different from my first experience. So, my first experience was back in February of 2022. I was in a very dark place. I could confidently say that I was going through a dark night of the soul. I had been in a state of depression for about 10 months previously when I went to go to the ceremony. And that ceremony was incredibly healing. Um, I was healed in one day, what felt like 10 years of therapy probably couldn't take care of. And so I had no idea what to expect from this second ceremony because I felt like I had done so much healing from the first ceremony that I just didn't know what else the Bufo could do for me. So the very first time I had a ceremony, I got to go meet my creator. I felt like I had shed this mortal skin and was in pure spirit form and was able to traverse the universe to meet my creator. And it was such a powerful experience. I felt like I was out in outer space, where the stars no longer were. And I wasn't overwhelmed with a feeling of love like I expected to be when I was with my creator, but there was a sense of wholeness. And when I came back, I remember immediately putting myself into a yoga position known as the cobra. And basically, that's when you lay on your tummy and you lift your upper portion of your body up. And I basically had my weight on my elbows and forearms. And I had my head lifted up, except it was all the way up, and my mouth was wide open, like a snake that was actually trying to eat something that was way bigger than it. That's how much my jaw was open. And it felt like the power of the universe was just running through my body, and my body needed to be in that specific yoga position so that the energy could flow properly. And it felt very much like in that scene in The Fifth Element, if you've ever seen that part where Mia Jovovich is at the very end with Bruce Willis, and she's wanting to give up on life, and the power of destruction is about to come upon the planet and destroy everything, and she ends up fighting it with love. And that's exactly what I was feeling, like this power of the universe just coming out of my mouth, and it was so incredibly powerful. And I feel like if I had been in any other physical position, that something could have gotten hurt. So, anyways, once I was able to get out of that position of the snake, I I found myself on all fours, and I actually roared. A roar came out of me like I couldn't even do it now. It came from the core of me. And suddenly I felt like I had shape shifted into a jaguar. And I was actually crawling around on all fours in the bottom of this teepee. Just it felt like as though I was walking on the ground for the very first time in my whole entire life. It seemed as though when I was born, um, I my trauma began at such an early age that I felt like I had spent my whole life as a baby jaguar just up in the trees, afraid of anyone and anything that was going to come anywhere near me. And I felt like I had spent my whole life just like ready to attack anyone that even looked at me sideways. And for the first time ever, I was actually walking on the ground and I was not up in the trees. And I left that ceremony feeling completely and totally fearless and completely powerful. S It felt as though almost like if I was in a video game, and you know how when your life starts to dim and then you die and then suddenly you get a new life and you're at full power? That's exactly how I felt, like I was at full power, and there was nothing I couldn't do. It felt like, the world was mine and that the world loved me and I loved the world back, and it changed my total attitude. I went from being completely introverted to being completely extroverted. So, it was a lot. And then I also, like, once my consciousness stopped being a snake and then also a jaguar, I finally came back to my human form, and then my body started doing this weird thing where it was like it was going in circles, just my hips. And I come to find out later, it was actually my Kundalini energy that was actually rising. And I remember looking down at my body going, what is going on? Because I wasn't doing that. I wasn't telling my body to start doing this, this shaking of the hips thing. And it's not a shaking, more like a swirling. And essentially, yeah, that was my Kundalini energy rising, and any blockages that I had in my system were being completely and totally cleared out. And so I found myself just really connected to my body and to my soul. I felt the depths of my soul when I came out of that ceremony. It was an amazing, amazing experience. So, also in the process of that first ceremony, I had found myself in a tunnel of sorrow, and it was as though I was reaching back into my bloodline and actually removing all karma from all of their lives, not just mine. So, when you go through something like that, when you experience that amount of sorrow, enough sorrow to fill 1,000 lifetimes, when you experience that much sorrow and you come out of it, anything that was bothering you beforehand is suddenly in complete perspective. And the breakup that had brought me into my dark night of the soul seemed to be like absolutely nothing. It didn't even register as a blip on the scale of sorrow that I was processing. That's how huge this processing of emotions was. And I would just remember coming out of that ceremony thinking to myself, oh my goodness, Tiffany, you have been so ridiculous crying over this guy for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason. It didn't even register. And so from that moment on, I was completely healed from that heartache that I had experienced. And so I was so incredibly grateful for that ceremony. And so it was another 3 years before I came and did another ceremony. I had no idea what to expect, like I said, and I just was curious what else the medicine could do for me. So when I did this next ceremony, it was with two ladies. Instead of it being a one male and one female facilitator, it was actually two ladies. And they were pretty new. I would say, I think they had only been there 3 or 4 weeks each. And so one of them was a Reiki master, and I can't remember what the other one said she did, but they had come to visit Tulum and ended up staying, which I totally understand that feeling because Tulum is my happy place. It's just a vibe, and it's my kind of vibe. So, so the second time, I actually did not leave my body. I was actually completely and totally conscious throughout this second ceremony. In fact, I was able to sit up throughout the ceremony. There was only a couple of moments where I actually laid down, but I never like went and saw my creator. I did not shapeshift into any kind of animal. And in fact, the only thing visually that I was seeing was um, was the bottom of the ocean. I kept seeing what felt like me looking at the bottom of the ocean. I was seeing the light coming through the water and the waves moving the light or the shadows of the light. And I was just overwhelmed with that. And another thing that I noticed that I was doing was I found myself putting myself into the position of a needle. So, like the needle on a compass. So, so basically what I did was just put my arms like above me, like that. And then and I just made myself as straight as I could be, and I put one foot on top of the other and pointed like a ballerina. And I found north, and I just, pointed there, and I just kept waiting for the medicine to actually take me, but it never took me anywheres. And so I found like that I needed to heal myself. So what I ended up doing was something I've never done before, which was lay hands on myself. And I don't mean like touching myself, but like laying my hands above myself by about 6 inches or so, and just looking for blockages or any kind of indication that there was an issue. And I was able to find one issue, like in my lower left quadrant of my torso. And so I just kind of moved it with my hands, and I found it like moving up. And then I found it caught up in my throat, and then I felt like I just had to like remove what felt like black tar on my throat. And so I was just doing this, and while I'm laying down, and then I felt like that black tar was actually on my hands. So I ended up having to blow on my hands to get this black tar off of me. And so that was interesting. And I do remember at one point also like giving birth to something. Like I don't know what I was giving birth to, but I actually kind of laid down in a starfish type of position. And then I ended up bringing my knees up, and it felt like I was giving birth to something. To what, I have no idea. But the facilitators talked to me afterwards, and they basically gave me their opinion on what they felt like had happened. I remember the first ceremony only lasted about 20 minutes before I was able to come back. And the facilitators gave me some space and time. But the second time that I did the ceremony, I was in the healing I was in a healing episode for a good like 40 minutes. So I was shocked because it only felt like, I don't know, 2 to 5 minutes. It did not feel like almost an hour. And then afterwards, I spent some time with the facilitators, and they were giving me their opinion on what they felt they had experienced. And one of the ladies said that she felt like I had given birth to the healer of myself, and which, that very well could be true. I'm not sure. But the second lady said that she was hoping to come across a true healer who could actually work with the medicine instead of being taken over by it. And she was so grateful to have had me as one of her clients, because she got to see what a shaman can do with the medicine. Hold on one second, my dogs are acting crazy. Anyways, I was hoping to come away from my Bufo Alvarius ceremony with some profound knowledge, but unfortunately, I don't have anything to tell you guys. The most I got out of it was point me in the right direction, and I'm not quite sure what that even means. So I'm still processing, and that's why it's taken me a little bit to make a video on it. And so there's not really that much to say, but I did thought that I would leave you guys with a number of videos that I took while on vacation, so I could take you guys with me. And the first couple of videos are going to be at my favorite place called Caleta Tankah. It's a hotel that is on the beach, and it actually is it's like private property where they have a cenote as well. And so I try to go there every time that I go to Tulum. And then there's going to be a couple of other videos where I went to two other cenotes. One was called Cenote Cristal, and the other one is called Cenote Escondido. And they're right across the street from each other. It's west, I think, or south from the center of Tulum. And Anyway, so it's a great place to go to if you want to check it out. We were able to get in for like 300 Mexican pesos, and that is the admission price for both cenotes. They're one's like 150 and the other one's 150. So that's like $15 in US dollars. And we were able to get a cab from the center of town to those cenotes for 100 Mexican pesos, which is equivalent to about $5. And so yeah, that was a very fun day and for super cheap. And I was watching other videos of other people who have gone and taken these like tours. They call them like bike tours of Tulum, or they take you to like one cenote and they take you to like the ruins of Tulum. And they got charged $109 to go do these, to ride a bike to this place. This place was like 20-minute cab ride from the center of town. So to ride a bike for that long, no, thank you. Not my idea of fun. So if you're planning on going, I would strongly suggest just taking a cab. Don't take one of those tours. They rip you off. They're making some serious money off you guys. But anyways, it helps also to have a Mexican, a Spanish speaking person with you that appears Mexican, because then you'll get the best deals. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this story. Sorry it was a long one, and stay tuned to see the videos that I took. Enjoy. currently at Cenote Cristal, and the cenote lives up to its name because the water is pretty clear. But I am about to go. Okay, I'm gonna run and go. Ready? Oh my goodness. That was fun. Yep. I'm scared. Woo!
How's that for graceful?
That's great.